Hello, I'm Theo with Mission in Motion, and today we're going to be talking about how to display data from your Salesforce org on your WordPress website. But you want to maybe display some of it on a front-facing WordPress website. That can cause problems because normally you'd have to, anytime you want to update the info, you'd have to do it manually, which takes a lot of time. It can be annoying, tedious. It's also error prone, so you might misenter a date or type something wrong, and now your information is incorrect, right? So you'd rather have it sync automatically between the two. And the way that we recommend doing that is through a WordPress plugin. So we wanted to run through a few of those today, go through some of the pros and cons, give you a bit of information, and help you make a choice. The first one is called Object Sync for Salesforce. This one is free and open source, which is nice. It basically means there's no cost to use it, so there's no ongoing monthly cost, and there's no kind of setup cost. You just set it up, and then you're good to go. It does mean it's a little bit more complex or involved to set up, only like a little bit though, than versus like a normal paid option. But you might want to keep that in mind if you're not super technical. The way that it works is it creates a direct link between your Salesforce objects and a custom post type in your WordPress database. So say you had a contact object in Salesforce, you can map that to a donor post type on your WordPress website. And whenever something changes on either end, it automatically updates the other side. You also get filtering, so you're not just syncing everything blindly. So you can say, only sync contacts where the type is donor or whatever makes sense for your data. And you can pick exactly which fields you want to map and ignore the rest. And if it's because it's open source, you can also modify things about it if you need something more specific. But again, that gets a little bit more technical with it. But it's a good starting point if budget's a concern and you're comfortable with a bit of configuration work. Next up is going to be Sawfish. So this is a paid plugin and it has a bit of a different approach. So rather than syncing data into WordPress and storing it there, Sawfish is just pulling your data in real time every time someone loads the page. So there's zero delay with the sync. So anytime you make a small change in Salesforce, you can see it right away in WordPress. It's also a paid service. So this one's a bit easier to set up, but it has an ongoing monthly cost. So if that's a concern for you, you might not want to go with this one. For how you display data, it has a few pretty nice, just custom built components. So you can get tables, charts, cards, calendars. So it's going to be nicely formatted and a bit more drag and drop. So if you like that easy setup, then this could be a good option for you. You basically just point it at Salesforce object, tell it the fields, tell it the records to pull how many of them, and add filters, and you got like a dashboard already. Pretty good. If you want something a bit more polished, and still flexible and not a lot of technical setup, this is a strong option. Another one worth knowing about is Object Data Sync for Salesforce. This one is a free version to get you started, and then paid plans if you decide that you want more later. What makes it a little bit different is how well it integrates with other tools you might already be using in WordPress. So stuff like Gravity Forms, WP Forms, WooCommerce, and so on. An example of how it works would be if someone fills out a donation form or like a volunteer sign up, something like that on your website, then that submission can go directly into Salesforce and create a new lead or contact. So this plugin is like very bi-directional. So changes you make on one end can affect the other. So you can be pushing your data that people enter on your site into Salesforce and also display Salesforce data on WordPress. So it does both. You can do custom field mappings, so all your data can go through. You can filter the records from Salesforce. So what appears on your WordPress site is only what's relevant to what you want to show. And again, it's a good middle ground for organizations that maybe have a lot going on in WordPress and you want to just start with something free to see if it can speed up your workflow. And then again, move on to a paid plan if you so desire. Lastly, we're going to talk about the fully custom route, which is building your own API connection through Salesforce and WordPress. This is definitely the most involved because it's going to involve doing backend code in Apex as well as front-end code for your WordPress site. But it is also the most customizable because your front end, which is like what your people will see on WordPress, can be whatever you want it to be. You just have to code it. But again, that's pretty technical. So that may not be the best option for you unless you have a pretty specific look or need that you're going for. And you can do anything that you can basically do with Salesforce, you can then allow yourself to do from WordPress. So you can trigger automations, create a bunch of records at once, this or that. Again, just very customizable. So if we have a good range of options here from free and simple to more complex and custom. The right choice is going to depend on your organization's needs and budget, your technical capacity, and kind of what you're looking for. If you want to talk through any of these options, or maybe you've picked one and you kind of want to go through with an implementation plan, you can feel free to reach out to us at Mission in Motion. That's what we're here for. And yeah, we look forward to working with you. Thank you.